I'll preface this by apologizing for the background noise. There's an air conditioner running behind me, but this is kind of like the only room I can film in, and it's really hot, so I think I'm just gonna have to leave it running. But I'm sorry if that's annoying at all. But these are some of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, like of someone just ranting to a camera for like 15 minutes about pretty much anything. So I figured this is something I've wanted to, I guess, rant about, and I didn't feel like bothering any of my friends with it. But like the idea of like, it's like a real maturity problem in the modern day. And this has been so heavy on my mind because I worked with a lot of old people. I've delivered like oxygen equipment and shit. And like so many of these like 70, 60-year-olds just are children, like are really big children. Like they cannot problem solve for themselves. They will not listen to instructions unless it is like absolutely like step by step by step clear. And just, I don't know, they all are so entitled. Like in the same way a kid wants everything, they want everything. It's like, a really good example I can give is just the other day, the place I work closes like around 5. And someone calls around like 4:30, there's some problems with some of their equipment that we gave them. And they want us to come out about an hour away at around 4:30. So I'd be getting back to town way late, way fucking late. And this person's refusing to troubleshoot over the phone. Like, genuinely refusing to even get their hands on the machine that they're saying they're having trouble with. And that blows me away. Because eventually, we convinced them to get their hands on it, take it out of the bag, fiddle around with it, and the battery was just disconnected. We would have driven out an hour away just to reconnect the battery and explain that's what was wrong, and then left. That would have been it. And this person's immaturity, or like unwillingness to try anything, was gonna cause that. Like that's crazy. That's really crazy to me. And I feel like I'm someone who, like, in my life has been immature. I'm only 19. I've been immature. I've been terrible. Like I think of myself still to be an immature person, but I've never been. At least I'd like to think I've never been that bad. I'm at least not that bad right now, and I know that. And that's just, I don't know, like how have you lived your entire life and you think that you can just do nothing and have everything handed to you? I don't know, it blows me away. And I think it has a lot to do with like the baby boomer generation idea of like what America was and that you were kind of owed everything. Like the white picket fence America idea. But it's just, like, surely they've lived long enough, or at least have seen enough to know that's not exactly how it is. I don't know. They've gotten everything handed to them, and like the second there's any sort of pushback or resistance, it's just, like, they genuinely cannot handle it. Like, I've been yelled at by some of these people for, like, it's not even things that are my fault. Like, I've messed up before, yeah, and I've gotten people mad at me, yeah, and I can admit that. But like some of this shit, like it'll be a problem with the machine, and the way I'm trying to fix it isn't the way they thought it should go. Or like I say their machine is completely bad and I have to switch it for a new one, and they just won't accept the new one. Like it's, what do you think, I'm lying to you? Like I'm here to help, and you're just so ignorant and trapped in what you think it should be that you're not willing to listen at all. You're not even willing to consider it. I feel like again, I can be ignorant, but I can always consider the other side. I feel like I just can't help it, right? And I just, like the idea of like no reflection at all. There's no thought of how to be better. There's only the thought of how can I make my life easier? How could everything be easier for me without work? You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking, I don't know. And I just, it's not just old people. Like, the country, specifically like America, is very immature. And the world at large is very immature right now, especially with all the shit that's going on and how not serious anything is taken. But it's just, I don't know, the entitlement to think you're owed anything. Like, I don't think I'm owed anything. I just, like, in the sense that, like, you know, if you're a parent and you have a kid, you should give them a roof over their head. Like, that's something owed. But like, the idea that just because you're a worker and this is your job, or because I want this, I'm owed it, that's ridiculous. That's not how anything works. And these people are 70 years old and they don't know that, or at least they're ignorant to accepting that, and it blows me away. Yeah. A specific story that I can think of is this one guy was setting up on our equipment. It wasn't even him, it was his wife. We're setting up on our equipment. And he lives, like, I want to say an hour away, I think it was, like about an hour away out in the country. So I'm already driving pretty far, which I never mind too much. You know, I wouldn't have taken the job if I minded driving. But I get out there, you know, I'm trying to be nice. I always try to be nice. These are old people. They probably don't talk to a lot of people. But the first thing he says when I get out there, he's asking me for a box. I have no idea what he's talking about. You know, I don't carry boxes with me. And apparently he thought that I was bringing him a great big, like, box, maybe like the size, like, half of that door right there, to ship his old machine off. We don't do that. That's your other company. They will come out here and pick it up for you. That's their job. And so he's getting mad at me that I don't have a box to mail his other machine. And he's telling me, like, oh, well, you're not off to a good start. I don't know. I might have to call about this. And I'm trying to explain to him, like, we don't do that. I'm not the post office. You know, I'm not the mailman. I deliver your oxygen equipment. That's not our equipment. I don't know what you want me to do with that. But he's getting mad as hell about that. And of course I have to go inside and set his wife up on oxygen. And I'm setting her up on, like, these great big tanks. Again, probably, like, maybe a little shorter than half the size of that door. But not happy about being on these tanks, obviously. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with oxygen equipment at all, but there's these, like, portable oxygen devices that are about, like, I don't have anything to reference with, maybe like that big. Everyone wants one of those, obviously. You know, you just charge them, never run out of air. They're annoying, but they're much better than tanks. This person's being set up on great big tanks that you have to wheel around on a cart. I'm sure you've seen those before, like at the hospital and shit. But like, I have to sit here and explain this to him. And again, like, I understand you don't want to be on oxygen. This sucks, but you are on oxygen. You have to accept that, and you gotta go with it. And so I'm sitting here explaining this to not even to him, to his wife, and she's like one of the sweetest people I've ever met. And fucking, he's sitting there bitching over me trying to explain this shit. Like, I have to go over it so many times because he just won't let it through. It's like the ignorance. Like, you're going to call mad later because you don't understand this and say I didn't explain something when I went over all of it like 3 times. You just weren't letting any of it in because you were choosing not to. Like, you were making the conscious decision to not absorb any of this information that I'm providing you just because you're a little upset. And that blows me away. And, you know, I know the ignorance it takes to do that. I'm sure I've done that. I feel like I can say confidently that I've done that. And, like, I know the level of ignorance that takes. So I feel like that's, what the hell? That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm getting myself, like, fucking worked up thinking about it. Yeah. Some of these people are just terrible. And I feel like if I'm 19 and I can look back at my life with enough reflection to think, yeah, I've been a piece of shit at times, and I should really still mature past even where I am now. Like, I should always be maturing, right? I should always be growing and trying to be better and thinking of myself in the past as worse than where I am now. Maybe not worse, but at least a jumping off point for where I am now. And some of these people, I feel like, have never had that idea, or have at least never put enough reflection into their own past to think that they should be better now than they were then. Like, it's just, there's no growth, no growth, no change, I don't know. I feel like I'm a broken record up here, but it's just fucking, ugh, some of these people. I'm trying to think of like other specifics to like fucking some of the filth they live in. Oh my fucking god, some of the filth these people live in. It's like I understand. Or I want to make it very clear. I understand being on oxygen and to the point where like you can't clean. There's nothing to be done. You know what I mean? I understand that. But some of these people choose to live in filth. Maybe not choose, like maybe they have mental health problems, obviously, and health problems in general. But you do not have to live in the level of filth that you do. Like these machines are coming back. We get machines back that we have to bring back in trash bags because they are filled with roaches and filled with bugs. And there's nothing we can do about that. We still have to take the machine and we have to send it off, get it cleaned, get it repaired, and fucking, get it good. But we still have to take that. And these people know that. They know there's nothing to be done about, like, what we're giving them. They're just gonna treat our machines like shit. And they're just gonna... I don't know. I feel like I sound like kind of like a dick. But... I don't know. I wouldn't want to live in a house that stinks, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come home and live in so much filth that my house reeks. And I get that there are situations you can't help. But if you are in good enough health to be able to go to work every day, or be able to, I don't know, work out, or go and live a normal life, there's no reason you should be coming home to a house that's trashed, that just has bugs everywhere, and food, and fucking, like there's this one place I can picture that had like a litter box full to the fucking like picture this is the box, and a mountain of just litter and shit and, like that, I get, again, yeah, I get you're in a terrible spot to let it get to that. That's not normal. But oh my god, the ignorance to change, the being okay with not changing. Like the whole, like I can hear the defense of like, well, what can I do? I'm sick. Well, you're right, you're sick, but there's still something to be done, right? Like, I'm sure there's someone you can call who wouldn't want you to live in filth. Fucking call me! I'll come over here and clean some of this shit up for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's... this has turned into a completely different rant of, like, what I wanted it to be. But I think cleanliness does have something to do with maturity. I think a more mature person is going to want to be cleaner than someone immature. And someone mature is gonna understand, like, the excuses that you can make for letting stuff fall apart. And if you have a personality that's already fallen apart, then you're gonna be alright with everything else falling apart as well. It's just... it makes me really worried about my future. And the idea that I would ever be like that. Or that I could ever. So that's someone who at some point wasn't that. That's someone who at some point was more, I don't want to say normal, because that's wrong. But someone who was healthier. Like, I'm terrified of, I have very bad health anxiety, but like the idea of my mental health deteriorating to that point is terrifying. And I think that's why it gets me so, like, worked up. Is like, because I shouldn't be this worked up over. I think I'm worked up more than I should be. But I'm terrified of being that. I'm terrified of being an ignorant old person, or an ignorant person in general, to the point of thinking it's everything else's problem instead of my own. And I feel like I've felt that. There's been times in my life where I've casted blame onto everything else. But I don't know, I've reflected enough now. And kind of that reflection is what brought this thought to my head of like, well, it's not hard to reflect, so what the hell are these people doing? I don't know, I feel like this has gone on way too long. It's, honestly, some of these problems don't fucking matter at all. Man, I don't know, I probably sound annoying as shit. I better just end this. Thanks for watching.